anytime someone seeks to make a paradigm shift in the current set of technologies, it in fact can be magical. This is the blending of computing and communications oriented to the consumer. It's never been done before.
It means taking complex things like the integration of computers and communications, like wireless and portable, like voice and data and multimedia and fax, and simplifying it to the point where anyone can use it in a way to communicate beyond any means that we've known before.
It's the first time that we have a chance to make computing and information and entertainment in a combined way very warm for the consumer. And that's why the consumer is going to buy it, use it in the millions all over the world.
You know, 3 wishes. Here you go. What are your 3 wishes? Well, I want to be able to see all around the world. Granted. I want to be able to talk to anyone I want to and find out the answer without running into their answering machine or bothering them and always getting through. Granted. I want to be able to learn more. I want to be able to see more. I want to be able to do more. Granted. Here it is in the palm of your hand.
Well, we have a big announcement to make, and I think many alliances make promises that can't be kept. I think we have something in the near term that is exciting. It's real. It's going to be visible to consumers. It's not a promise. And it's an important announcement because we're really redefining the way communication is delivered in this country and throughout the world.
I think what is unique somewhat about this alliance is that it is a collection of companies from around the world, all with great stature in their own right, some of whom would compete with each other, but all of whom share a common vision of ubiquitous personal communicators.
やっぱり人々がよりそれを便利に使っていただくと、それを通じていろんな意味でのコミュニケートがより簡単で便利でね、より豊かにできるというそのためのものが開発されて、それが世の中に普及していくということが目的ですからね。それにつながるようにみんなが頑張っていかないといけないし、それは一社でできないわけですから。
It's for the first time that the greatest names in entertainment, in telecommunication, and in computing get together and will really make it happen. And that's what the revolution is all about with General Magic.
The General Magic Alliance, crystallized around a software and communication company, General Magic.
Yeah, you know, yesterday
we have this period of time.
100 people who call themselves magicians.
That's a sizable percentage.
Magic was founded in 1990 by Mark Peratt, President and Chief Executive Officer.
And I think, in talking to everyone, we have a consensus that
Andy Hertzfeld, software wizard.
After this meeting, start not freeze, but a bug week where most
and Bill Atkinson, chairman,
focuses their attention and energy on fixing bugs.
Well, I think the reason why we were particularly excited when Andy and Bill and Mark first got together with General Magic was that you were bringing together some really world-class people. Andy and Bill had been instrumental in the development of the original Macintosh. They really understood how to build very, very small software code.
Programming is very much like juggling. Programming is like juggling because even after you know how it's done, it's still amazing to you. So, especially when you see people like Andy and Bill who can just make it happen.
Then when Jim White joined up with them with a long experience in telecommunications, they were able to extend the vision, which meant that you could start to think about intelligent networks as well as intelligent devices.
Companies the size of AT&T don't have a corner on new ideas. They come from entrepreneurial kind of startup companies.
So I guess check out geometry is what does this.
Okay.
So let's just see.
General Magic falls into that category. And we learn a lot from these kinds of companies and from the people, the very highly skilled people that they are able to attract into their business.
Mark and Don and Mike Stern have done a superb, off-the-charts job at creating this opportunity for us, and it's up to us to deliver the technology. If we can, you know, it's unstoppable. We're really going to do this great thing.
The size of the company is really small, but their thinking is so big. Yeah, this is very important for the future. Yeah. When we heard this new idea, immediately decided to join it. Yes, just fun.
The Alliance came together and is motivated and held together by a vision that we all share, and it's called whole person thinking. Whole person thinking is about you, the single individual, and what's inside you, your wants and your needs, your behaviors that have to do with communication or information. We looked at whole person thinking and then asked what's a human being? What is a person? And broke it down into 3 domains that are very closely integrated one to the other. The first we call the internal dialogue. It's you talking to yourself. It's remembering those things that matter to you. The second we call communication. It's you and your relationships with people, with friends, with family. And the third is knowing things about the world that you live in. Those 3 coming together form whole person thinking. A vision isn't something that you and I can use. A vision is a motivator, it's a direction. So what we did as an alliance was we converted the vision, we reduced it to something tangible, something practical. It was an environment, a set of services to support communication and information, and a set of devices that I can take with me all the time. The devices and the services came together as a complete answer to the vision.
The public is not interested in technology. The public is interested in convenience, right? And in order to create optimum convenience, you need standards. And standards mean cooperation.
Well, Telescript is really central to the world of personal communicators because it is the glue or the software that allows an AT&T machine to communicate with a machine made by Apple or Sony or IBM or anyone else.
We have a device 1 here. We have the cloud. We have another device 2 over here. Device 1 has an outpost in the cloud. We'll call it outpost 1. Device 2 also has his outpost in the cloud, outpost 2.
Jim White's invention of smart messaging techniques with the Telescript is just outstanding. It's really going to change the way that messaging works and turn over the phone system into an open-ended platform for lots of people to make creative products on top of.
I hope we don't have to drag in all the place-to-place transfer just to do any kind of object exchange. It really is just like the Star Trek transporter, although it's a little less physical. But you remember in Star Trek how you step into the transporter platform and then you kind of turn into fairy dust or something. And we do things that are analogous in Telescript in order to physically transport the agent to some other machine with some other operating system in some other place where it can just carry on as if nothing had happened to it. Well, there is a new network offering that is part of this alliance activity, and we're still in a developmental stage, so it's premature to really talk too much about it. But it is a brand new service built literally from the ground up, built from blank pieces of paper, specifically designed to accommodate this new environment, the Telescript, the technology capability, and the personal communicating devices that will be deployed.
I bet you anything that how people get at information and what is defined as an information service is going to change profoundly. What it means for me to communicate with you no matter where you are and for you to receive my messages is going to change profoundly. It's you, your whole personality and your profile that defines how the communications network functions.
We're very interested in adopting the Telescript layer of technology because this gives us the ability to communicate with all other kinds of devices, even if they're using different operating systems or different microprocessors than our own.
we've got a new operating system designed fundamentally around communication, and it's optimal for these personal communicators and all kinds of other follow-on products.
We need people to love it. We need it to be like your watch. You know, Bill's always saying your watch, your glasses, your wallet, something that you like the color, you like the way it feels.
Maxed out. That's as loud as we get. Maybe I'll turn the volume up here, though.
The device has the concept of sound suites. That is, some of these sounds make it more fun to learn how to use it. Hey, that's what happens when you get an error.
It's something we want for ourselves. That's kind of the one secret of my career, how I design good products, is I just work on things that I want for myself. You know, I think one interesting area we haven't done is expressing emotions. What stamp would you use to express anger at someone? Since I'm working on something that I want for myself, an excellent feedback loop is set up. I can tell. I just follow my heart in terms of what I want, and that's always worked for me. And that's my first litmus test of should I work on a project, is do I want this thing in the world?
Only one person hated the happy face. It's like if...
Who was that?
We know that the people with whom we are working here in General Magic speak exactly the language you are used to talk. Something that is easy to use, very instinctively to use, and becomes very quickly part of your life, part of your comfort level.
Magic Cap was one of the reasons that we joined the Alliance to begin with. The idea initially behind Magic Cap was in fact to tailor an operating system to a particular very broad class of applications.
And this turns out to be a very natural extension when you blend the personal wireless communicator, which we've been building now for over 60 years, with the unique software and easy interface capability of the Magic Cap system.
私はね、割合はっきりしてるんですけども、このマジック以外にもですね、いろんな提案がなされておりますけども、いろんなお話を聞くとですね、あれもできます、これもできますと、いろんなことができますと、非常に大変便利ですというようなお話が多いわけです。しかしお客様に何がプラスになって、お客様がどんなプラスになるかと、お客様がどんな得をするかという話はあんまりないんです。で、私はズバリこのマジックのテクノロジーはですね、きっと将来お客様のお役に立つと、お客様のプラスになるというテクノロジーだと思ったからです。
Our vision of where we're taking personal communication is clearly geared to the long view. It's going to take us 15, 20, 25 years to get there. Our platforms, our architectures are all sized for the long term. On the other hand, I know what we're shipping, and the Alliance members are shipping, and it's fantastic. So it's important to level set expectations. We're starting somewhere, we're going somewhere. And we want to be known as people, as an alliance that stands for credibility. We'll tell you where we are, we'll tell you where we're going, we'll tell you where we aren't. This will take time before we achieve sublime. But what's coming is just great.
Who's here?
At each company in the Alliance, engineering teams like those at Magic are at work around the clock, delivering on the promise, making the products and services real.
Man, I love this team. I'd do anything for these guys. They are just so great. I think the thing that makes the team extraordinary, more than the intelligence and skill, which is formidable and awesome, but the passion is really what I think distinguishes this team. It comes out of our hearts and out of our souls. You know, there is no motivation, no carrot you can put in front of someone to make these people work like they're working. It has to come from their hearts and their desire to do something special, to do something that'll be in the history books someday.
I can't tell you how far it'll get or how fast it'll get there, but drawing upon things that we do to touch people's emotional response line in a way that draws upon information and the ability to manipulate and transmit information will become a major part of Sony's future.
Worldwide, every person wishes to have some such new personal communicator. This is really a personal communication equipment, and this is a new trend, new market. Therefore, we joined this standard.
It could be sitting in a meeting and you're bored and you write your mother a note and just send it off to her, and she's sitting in her parlor, and through the network a little light goes on and there's a message from her son Bob, who hasn't called her in a month but does think about her at boring meetings. There'll be lots of applications, things that we'll be able to do that we don't do today.
What makes General Magic unique is that it not only has very, very talented individuals to form the company, but it also has some powerful backers to help make sure that the technology that it's created gets broadly adopted. And I think that the combination of these two is really the ground rules for success in the 1990s.
The revolution we are going to see with General Magic is something much bigger than we have seen when the PC was introduced into the world, and it's exactly this kind of alliance that it's going to make it happen.
I think what should come across is the determination of these large companies to set aside too many personal ideas, but make creating a standard the first and foremost objective, right? The standard is the key to everything.
As a businessman, I don't deal in dreams, only deal in reality. This is going to happen. We have the right people, we have the resources, we have the commitment, and it's going to happen.
I think it's important to suggest that while this alliance is made up of a handful of companies, that the reason we've come together is to set the standards and to create an environment in which everybody can play in the game. That is to say, we want everybody to focus on devices and communication vehicles that will work with this system, that will make it generally available to all consumers, not limited to a narrow group of people or to customers who have to worry about proprietary architectures and so forth. So we invite everybody in the water.